So you actually don't need to do anything, right? You just basically call up the Deveronian and tell them the good news, right? So you're pretty much done at this point. So we'll go ahead and fast forward 10 days unless you specifically want to
Yeah,
have
it's
something
fine.
happen.
All we got to do is the negotiation roll then.
Otho is wanting to do some.
Yes. Some research and if it's 10 days, a bit of modifications to the lightsaber as well.
Okay, so you have done some previous research. I'm going to reduce the difficulty from formidable to hard, which brings it from a 4 to a 3. I don't think that there is any reason to upgrade it. So the dice pool is set.
Okay.
You will have some boost dice because of previous help as well.
Nice. And this is lore?
This will be lore, yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's use a destiny die. I forget. What is that allowed to reroll again?
Well, if you were wanting to, at this point, I would say you would need to use it to re-roll either of those green dice to a yellow.
Okay.
Can
So
you
let me
only use it on
search.
positive dice, or can you use it on negative dice too?
You can use it on negative dice.
Because you just have the one there with 2 failures on it. It seems more likely you can reroll the 2 failure die to a one.
But see, you wouldn't get to choose which one, right?
Mm.
I would choose which one, and so I would have to re-roll.
Oh, I did not know
die.
that. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah, so re-rolling one of them's. So
well, if you re-roll the green dice that has the advantage on it, you have no worries about.
Well, you would choose the yellow die, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The yellow dice.
No, you have to use one of the green to upgrade it to a yellow dice.
Okay, so yeah, let's upgrade the green to a yellow, and I can roll that.
So go ahead and spend the light side.
All right, and I got my dice pool ready.
I've cleared the dice pool, so it's just
Can't do any worse.
Well, technically, you did just convert a 1 advantage into nothing, so you kind of did do worse.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay, so you are you know that Luridians are a rare species. You do know where I think it's just called Lurid.
Yeah.
Is but without actually going to this planet, you don't see any way of progressing. You do know that there are some artifacts that are being called for on Lurid. So if you were to obtain one of these artifacts, you could go there and practically name your rate, which would probably be the best way of getting one of these gemstones. Because if you remember, a Luridian has to imbue their force power into one of these gemstones to make one.
But wasn't also stated that there was that there's one buried somewhere?
You have heard rumors that there are Luridian gemstones around, but you have not you have failed to find one that you feel like you would be able to have be meaningful enough to you to be considered your gemstone, right? It would be the same as finding any old crystal lying around.
So first order of business is to obtain the artifact, and the second order of business is used as a bargaining chip for the creation of one. I said there are artifacts that have going rates on there. What kind of artifacts would those be? Like, where would those even be found? Just
Well,
about?
your advantage is you actually are able to find a rumor that there is well, you know that there are a bunch of artifacts on Korriban. And you do find mention of an artifact. There's a specific holocron that somebody on Loretta wants. That is found in Naga Sadow's tomb.
The Sith Academy is still on Korriban, isn't it? At this time period? That's right, it's all the students though.
Oh dear.
You could take
And of
out the
course,
students.
as Otho has spent time on Korriban, one of the many times you were sent on trials was to Naga Sadow's tomb to retrieve writing samples, and it's always a dangerous.
Just hit it with
Mhm.
Force Lightning. Every first
That's
year
hard.
knows that.
That's hard.
Yeah, but it unlocks immediately. Then you can go back to this teacher and make sure that your other student you're competing against gets killed. Just make sure that your teacher doesn't take your brain away from you and inhabit your body. It's very important.
But the problem is, A, going back to Korriban. B is
But we have the transponder.
yeah, but you have to go into a tomb and get a holocron out. That shit's insane.
It's all giant bugs. Thankfully, we have a giant map for it already. Thank God we're using SWTOR maps, right?
You might even have to ask for help.
Well, no, not if you're a Sith. Should be easy for you, and you don't want to look weak, not in front of all the other Sith.
No, she would know that this particular artifact isn't something that would be found in the upper sections of the tomb.
I mean, also, shame we don't have Goras around. He could just reprogram all those abandoned droids that are hanging around for some reason.
Yeah.
Ancient battle droids in all the tombs for some strange reason.
I mean, getting that holocron is also seeming kind of good. If you can get a bit of information on that before passing it off, this might be a
There's
Now,
holocrons all over the
holocrons,
place in that place.
you are aware, are more about information.
Yes.
So it's probable that this person is actually looking for something deeper than just the holocron, right? The holocron is a means to an end.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if she could learn something about that as well, maybe. Oh, thanks for the gemstone, and then immediately run off to the thing that they're looking for.
Or
holocrons are also a
the-
matter of prestige as well, just owning a holocron.
Yeah.
or find the thing that they're actually after. And
Yeah.
I mean, could go to... Shit, I forgot the name of the planet. What's the capital of the Sith Empire at this time?
Drummond Koss.
Yeah, go to Truman Cost and go to that temple that's just outside the city. Who knows? You could be related to an ancient Sith dynasty.
So one thing I might need clarification on, like, is the tomb of Naga Sadow, like, well guarded and traveled or not?
So there are multiple levels, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The upper levels are more traveled than the lower levels.
They also just send
because-
fucking kids and slaves in there, so not really guarded.
And there's a lot of those that will basically sit and wait for a different, acolyte to come in and hopefully kill them to regain their place or that kind of stuff.
Or
They're
specifically
already graduated, so
somebody coming out with a holocron so they can kill you, take the holocron, and then turn that in for their prestige.
Not to kill them first.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yep.
Love the Sith Empire. It's a Terran.
But
it's
by
the-
transitive property, if they didn't think they could get it, but you could get it, and they think they can take you, they're wrong.
Well, no, the transitive property is you've been weakened by the experience that made
Yeah.
you get it, so that we can have to kill you.
Yeah.
now the other side to this is Korriban isn't exactly someplace you take your friends to.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We'll just do the Wookiee thing. Ironic. We'll be your slaves. Not your slaves, your prisoners. Korriban is also a place where they take prisoners and torture them.
It's true.
Or train other
True.
people in how to torture them.
There are
True.
many ways you could justify having a
Mhm.
Faline and a Wookiee there. But usually you need, even a Sith needs to have some prestige to justify them returning as well.
Yeah.
Or literally just
mean-
have to do a fetch quest. Then you can return as much as you need.
Pretty much. But right, that's one of the Sith Lords telling you that you need to go to Korriban for a reason. And you aren't exactly
No.
a Sith Lord at this point.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Well, did the person that trained you, are they on Korriban?
Even if they are,
She's kind of gone AWOL, so
yeah.
Well, I just meant as a cover. If anyone asks, you could just tell them that you're being summoned by. And at absolute worst, that person now knows that you're on planet somewhere. But that still gives you time to be on planet.
That's still not great though.
And you know they're going to use that whole, oh, okay, let them in, and I'm going to make a trap for them. At the same time, they're not going to know what you're on planet for, so... Just a thought. I don't know what your alternative is.
That's the
Just like it's an
problem.
out of character alternative. You do have an Imperial agent who is more than willing to do things for you to some degree.
Yeah, but that is much less open to assistance now.
Also, the
Yes.
rank of the Imperial military among the Sith is like garbage. They will kill your Imperial agent friend just for no reason.
there are people on Nar Shaddaa that are willing to do things to gain favor.
After the session so far, that's a weird statement.
So I have to question that. It's like someone on Nar Shaddaa willing to get us to the temple. That's the real question.
So you are aware that there are people that frequent Shellis's hotel that are trying to convince Shellis to rejoin the Empire as a whole, and also
Okay.
you. If you wanted to, you could swear fealty to one of them, rejoin the Empire, and you'd be allowed to go wherever you wanted.
Yeah, but that's not really an option at the moment.
I mean,
Not
it
in
is
her
an
mind, at least. It is an option. That's not really an option in her mind at the moment. Shit.
Why did you go AWOL?
I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably not necessarily go. I mean, right? Because you're here, right?
Yeah.
Let me make that so it looks somewhat. And there's all the way to complete entrapment or not entrapment, but fealty, right? There's a bunch of room in between there. You might be able to wiggle.
Maybe, but since we do have a Sith transponder, would it be possible to just get on Korriban and then slowly make our way over to the crypt are not really.
A Sith transponder just means that you are some member of the
You could
Empire,
pull a
right?
Goraz. You could just pull a Goraz and crash land.
You could. Korriban is one of those places where they would shoot first and ask questions.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
arguably, if you're in a crash landing, you're already in an uncontrolled state, which is really hard to shoot. You're already
Find a
doing
way.
evasive maneuvers.
I guess what's being said is compared to Ord Mantell, where Goraz got to meteorite his way down, and the Republic tried to save him. The Empire would probably either A, watch it burn, or B, shoot it as it's coming down just to make sure.
I'm just saying, tell your master that you're on your way. Tell your former master you're on your way, and let them lay their trap, because they don't know what you're actually up to.
That sounds like
It sounds like a SWTOR mission, is what it sounds like.
that sounds like a way to get killed.
It is a way to get killed, but so is going to Korriban in the first place.
Yeah, well, that's a shit. And so you mentioned that most of the artifacts that they're interested in are on Korriban.
No, you just know that one of them is on Korriban and
Right.
Naga Sadow's.
Well, let's keep that
Most
on the
of
back.
the other ones you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, how about we'll leave that on the back burner for now. I'm gonna mark that down. Let's leave it on the back burner for now. And spend the next while, most of her downtime, talking to Shallis, talking to people at the hotel, and people in general that she can get into contact with through these other two to see if there's other options. And we'll just have that continue looking for stuff as we go on. Nothing else shows up.
Okay. So I would point out that you can try to find those others, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was a 3. That was a hard lore check. This would be orders of magnitude higher. Namely 5 purple with 3 upgrades. So 3 purple or 3 red and 2 purples.
Nice.
To try to find this.
Okay, so what you're saying is we have to go to Korriban.
No. I'm just saying if the people have a hard time finding these things, this is something that's going to be rather difficult to find. And the difficulty I have assigned to that is 3 reds and 2 purples. It's very possible to find it. If you want to figure out some way to make it a less difficult check, by all means.
Yeah. And the main problem is that I don't have too much information on them. Like even what they're looking for.
I mean, you've got 4 advantages stored up. You could use those for a couple different things, right? You can reduce the difficulty by 1 for 3, or you could reduce or add boost dice for 1 for 1, right?
Ooh.
You could also utilize your resources on Nar Shaddaa to try to
All right.
gain some assistance, but
Okay.
that
So
would obviously have some sort of in-game consequence,
Yeah.
right?
So what about using the boost die? So using the advantages to get boost die, as well as calling in a few favors at the hotel level in Nar Shaddaa.
Okay, so what are you doing? We'll hold off on those boost dice.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna hold those in storage.
Okay.
I'm gonna write those down right now. Okay. And what do you propose you're gonna do to gain information?
Okay, and these are the favors that are being offered to people, right? Or
What do you want to have happen? Do you want to
okay.
Do you want to utilize someone else to gain information about other artifacts, or do you want to try and gain access to Korriban without?
Other artifacts at the moment.
Okay. So what are you proposing to? What's your plan there? So do you want to have Taryn help you?
Yeah, she's gonna request Taryn's assistance in this, seeing as our main negotiator's still on a barge, and she's gonna say, okay, so she's gonna explain what this is all for. So she needs the artifact to go to Lord to get the correct crystal for her lightsaber for all these force reasons that I don't expect you to understand. But basically, there are some very, very specific set of artifacts that people are looking for, and I need these. So if you can speak to your people, and I can speak to my people, and you can get me into contact with them, let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can do on that front.
All right, I can definitely understand them giving you the runaround. So happy to help. Let's see what we can do. So let's see. So this is still negotiation, right?
Well, you basically have to decide what you're trying to accomplish here, right? Are you trying to utilize someone else's lore, or are you trying to get them to help you with your checks? Are you wanting to?
She basically she wants to gather as much information as she can from all of these sources, and then pour over what she has already collected to corroborate all the information into something that makes more sense.
Okay. So, when this is made told to you, Taryn, you are aware that this is something that one of the things that protects artifacts more than anything is obscurity, right?
Right.
The more people that know that something is of value, the more competition there's going to be to getting it. So one of the things that is frequently done is that you try to keep your searching for said artifacts as quiet as possible, or whatever you're searching for.
Right.
Right. This is what Taryn would just understand about this type of thing. So what's your game plan?
I think the last time we tried doing information like that, especially trying to do research while keeping on the down low, was skullduggery, actually, wasn't it?
Well, skullduggery will keep you out of an underworld search. This one isn't really gonna benefit from skullduggery.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
you're not really able to just gain entrance to some room and observe or something
Right,
like
no
that,
one
right?
just like has it sitting around on a server. It's like, yeah, the artifact's right here, everybody.
Yeah. So this is more about getting people to help you find it without them realizing what you're trying to do, what you're actually trying to find, which is going to be a deception slash charm slash perception checks, right?
Right. In that case, deception sounds wonderful. I'm great at lying, and I'll lie all over the place about this.
Very nice.
For reference, I have 4 and 2. What do you have?
Not nearly that much.
Okay, well, basically you're giving me a boost dice then.
Yes.
Right? Alright. So I
So
got that.
this is going to be a skill challenge. You will need to start with charm to gain the pool of people to utilize, right?
Makes sense.
So let's set this up. You're going to the hotel cantina, and I'm assuming you're going to do this probably the busiest time.
Yeah, try to find the most people at once, which, yeah, busiest time.
So
How much
Yeah.
presence do you have, Otho?
It used to be 3, and now it's 2.
All right, so you're giving me a boost on that too, then.
All right.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna set up the dice pool with just as an average check for this charm check, and I'm gonna give you 2 boost dice because you are going at a time that is very popular.
That is popping.
Right, very conducive to this.
So it's already set. You can go ahead and roll whenever you want.
Right, did you add in the boost die as well for the assistance?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to? No. you can do
yes, please.
that. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
So you're gonna have 3 boost dice and a difficulty of 2 purple.
Okay. 2 success, 1 advantage. I'm good at talking with people. I'm a
That
friendly
was-
Wookiee. Everyone loves me.
Okay, so currently the difficulty is 3 reds to purple with 4 boost dice. With that check, you could reduce the or downgrade the difficulty by 1.
Mhm.
So I'd bring it to 2. Well, I don't know what I would do. To be honest, probably get rid of one of the purples. But yeah, so you're at 3 upgrades, 1 downgrade, and 5 purple with 4 boost dice. Are you wanting
boy.
to change that any further before you roll?
I got the assistance boost dice. That's it. The only other thing would be spending one of our light side to try to downgrade it again, or maybe even upgrade one of mine.
Now you can still use some sort of deception to aid this as well, right? We
Right.
haven't
Oh,
even.
I thought this was the deception check.
No, this is currently. What I'm talking about here is the end
So the final check.
The final check is
Okay.
The final lore check.
Yeah. In which case, so we need to set up for the deception check to make the final lore check better. Then, got it.
right.
Okay. So I got that set up.
So what are you wanting to? What kind of skill are you wanting to do now?
Like you were saying, and like I was saying, deception, because we need to lie to people about what our purpose is, what we're doing, and maybe even obfuscate what we're really looking for while getting the information we want.
Okay, and you're assisting with this too, Otho?
Yes.
Okay,
It's the best of her ability.
so this is going to be a hard check upgraded once with 3 boost dice.
Okay. I'm ready to make it. Let's do it.
I'm debating on setback.
Yeah, I'll let you take your time to decide that.
I think that this is going to have at least 2 setback because these people have the force and they're going to be kind of
Right.
able to.
But I'm a skilled liar, so I'm going to take those right back off. But keep them on your side because I'm removing them.
Again, I'm making sure that you are aware that there are setbacks so you can use your ability to take them away.
Yeah.
They're all wearing Veredicator 200 gems.
Wow.
In a sense,
It
yes.
got really popular around
Oh
here. suddenly.
boy.
Well, it seems like the moment you mention something really cool, everyone rushes out and buys one.
Everyone was
Yeah.
wearing the Verpine headbands last
Wow.
week, and now they're wearing the lie detectors.
Well, because the lie detector is a necklace and the headband's a headband.
Next week it's going to be the Force mood rings.
What's the Verpine headset again?
The Verpine one is that makes it so you don't have to sleep, and you can keep taking strain and adding it to wounds or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't pass out.
So the dice pool is set for your deception check.
Let's do it.
It's how I've gone 10 days straight with this hut without taking a rest.
Lot of success,
Wow.
but despair. We're
Oof.
doing great, but we are apparently
Until-
getting some attention.
Well, see,
Yeah.
your lie was so great. It was so obvious, but they admire the chutzpah that you had on telling it. Everyone knows you're a liar now. But by God, the balls on this one.
So you actually you are able to obfuscate what you're actually after. Very convincingly. In fact, this is going to reduce the difficulty quite significantly.
Ooh.
But the despair is going to have some possible ramifications that I will come up with in a minute.
Yeah,
depending on
G-Man pops up and goes, prepare for unforeseen consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to
Who?
yeah. So
I'm referencing Half-Life.
Oh, you said G-Man. I thought you said G-Min from the Myriad Song game. I'm like,
Oh
what?
gosh, that'd be crazy.
Like, what are you saying?
All right. So continue, Sid.
so with that, you could wow, yeah. Um, okay.
I think the next step is just lore, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless
Getting
you
all that.
specifically want to do something else. So to role play this a little bit, right? You guys have basically this whole bar has turned into a bunch of force users standing around this table, and there's this conversation going on about artifacts.
It's like, oh, whoa.
All listening to Terran too, of course,
Wow.
and no
You
one can figure out if he's lying.
and you have Sith standing next to Jedi, and they're all kind of, there's this little bit of a
Tension.
well, it's tension, but you've also got this one-upmanship that they're trying to do, right? The Sith
Nice.
are trying to prove that they know more about these artifacts than the Jedi, and the Jedi are actually a little bit better at it because that's what Jedi do.
Yeah, well, I saw a ghost of the first Sith. Yeah, well, I saw a ghost of the Sith before they became Sith. Aha.
So you actually have learned that just like there is an artifact sitting in Naga Sadow's tomb, there is an artifact, a very similar artifact sitting on Tython, which you might have heard of before, but you never would have really thought that you would ever be told that there was something there that you could go get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's basically supposedly some cave on Tython that has some holocrons of various artifacts that would be very difficult for you to get access to, because you would basically have to become a Padawan.
Hmm.
And so there's some jokes going on, or at least that's what it's kind of being laughed about.
Mm-hmm.
But you are wondering a little bit if it isn't a legitimate offer that you could be Padawan to one of these Jedi and gain access to Tython. Of course, that would be a significant shift to the entire game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this was made before the lore check, right? This was all unearthed during the discussion.
This is part of the
Right.
whole build
Yeah.
up of this lore check.
Hmm.
But the difficulty is set for your lore check if you want to roll.
Right. And I'm going to assume you were definitely smarter than Terran is and actually are skilled in it as well. Correct?
Yes, she is skilled in it.
So
Alright,
your dice pool is currently 5 purple, downgraded twice, so basically a hard check,
Okay.
with 5 boost dice.
Okay. And
Nice.
let's use a light side destiny as well
Go for
to upgrade the ability. So I can do that over here. There we go. Let's go!
Are you wanting to? Okay.
What the fuck is that? What is that?
That's Otho's
What
luck.
is that?
It's the same luck that gets you shot in the face.
Ah.
That is hilarious.
Literally, the entire independent section of Force users on Nar Shaddai's come together around this question of what do we know? And the penultimate answer is,
Nothing.
the hell if we know.
Fucking
I
hell.
mean, if they knew, they probably would have gotten it anyway. So,
Now, you are aware the advantage you get from this is
Yeah.
that Dantooine currently is a
Hotbed.
well, it is not. There was a Jedi temple there, Jedi holding, but it is currently not being used because a few hundred years ago, lots of stuff went down there.
Mhm.
If you remember, if you played Knights of the Old Republic.
I remember.
Okay.
So there's it's possible that you could find something there, but who knows what's there.
It seems to be our best option at the moment. Definitely
Gaining
the accessible
access
one.
to that would be iffy, but
I mean,
it's
as
still a
of right-
Republic planet, and it's
Mhm.
not like it's an agricultural planet, so it's still guarded by the Republic.
Mhm. But luckily, it is not like a
It wouldn't
fortress world or
be
something.
it wouldn't be Tython, nor
Yeah.
would it be Korriban.
Yeah. So I think that's our best bet as of right now.
You would also know that there's Onderon, and Drummond Koss does have some places on it that
Mhm.
are possible places you could go.
Mhm.
Ziost is another place that has a lot of temples and tombs on it as well. So I mean, you have options. It's just right now, you have that there's an artifact on Korriban. You know that there's an artifact on Tython. Ziost, Drummond Koss, Dantooine, Onderon. These are all places that might have stuff, but you don't know for sure.
Mhm.
so
We should
steal
probably-
a artifact from the Jedi or steal the artifact from a Sith.
Well, let's check the abandoned places first, or the places that are not as.
Right. You got options now, at least.
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
no one has a clear answer.
I mean,
Yeah.
abandoned places aren't always better. Who was
I
In
mean-
some
the
ways,
what
abandoned
was the
places are worse.
yeah? What was the guy on Yavin? That was something E, didn't it?
I know of the thing you're talking about, but I don't
Well,
remember
there's-
what they were. I remember there were
Yavin
like
has
Makashi
plenty of-
warriors or something.
Well, yeah, because he had the bread Masari warriors
Mhm.
that
Masashi.
guarded. Yeah, sorry, Masashi. I was so close. I mean, his place abandoned. Worse.
That's what's his name? Starts with a V. The
Vaughn? Oh,
Valorian?
never mind. That's Timothy Zahn.
It's the actual emperor of this time. His main temple is on Yavin 4. But very
Right.
few people know about that, so none of your characters would know that.
Okay. So
So Drummond Koss, you would not have any problems getting there or bringing your friends.
Mhm.
Onderon, and Dantooine are basically the same type of thing, right? You don't
Mhm.
really know where you're going there. You don't really know if there's anything there, and so you don't, you just have a lot of unknowns with those. They would
Yeah.
also be a little bit more difficult to get to. Not terribly, because you do have a Republic transponder at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only problem is that going to the one on Drummond Cost, you'd probably be stealing it out of an archive or somewhere.
If it's in a tomb or in a temple, it's not considered stealing.
Well, no, because
It's
remember they
called
sent
proving your might.
yeah, they send students in there to test their metal against. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can take it, you deserve it. That's the
Now, if you went to
way,
Dantooine, it would be considered.
also you would be. Oh, sorry, never mind. I was thinking Tython. If you were a Sith going to Tython, to steal an artifact.
If you were a Sith going to Tython, you would be a
Sworn.
traitor more than.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're Jedi. So you could just say, I renounce my ways as a Sith and just trick your way through the whole fucking place because they're babies.
I mean, technically, you could go that route.
Yeah,
right?
so long as you don't turn
Jeez.
your saber on or anything like that. They'll fucking do. That'd be cool. They'll like all negotiate.
But you would be basically turning yourself into a Padawan to go to Tython.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Tython's the hyperspace uh, routes to get to Tython are a closely guarded Republic secret.
Also, if you were like really regretting the dark side path,
You could go that would definitely help you
find your
redeem yourself.
balance again, young one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would also be sacrificing the easy path towards power, towards not putting your friends in extreme danger. That's got to count for something, light side wise. Didn't we have a whole conversation
Funny.
about you not understanding why you were on the dark side path?
Yeah, but now that I am, I'm just like, okay, so this is what's going to be happening anyway. So
We figured out what happened, so yeah.
Mhm.
okay, so
Yeah, you were trained by
So-
Sith. That's how it happened.
so far it seems like Drummond Cost is probably the best place to go, based on all available information.
Correction,
Mhm.
not the best place to go, the easiest place to go.
Based on all information that we have currently at the moment, yes.
I mean, fair, I'm a neutral party. I'm not really bothered by this whole Empire Republic thing.
Mhm.
Also, I'm a pretty lucky guy.
Gotta find me a nice tomb to raid.
So, well, I'll put
Look,
this
I
in.
played a bounty hunter who went to Droman Kos for no good reason, and they just let me on the fucking planet. So, also played an Imperial agent that went to Droman Kos for no fucking reason. They let me on the planet. They even walked up to that whole mission where the Sith people are killing Imperial agents just for the fun of it. So, I
Oh,
mean,
fun.
I'm using Imperial agents. I don't mean like Imperial agents the class. I mean Imperial agents as like agents of the military.
hmm
Because the whole structure of the Sith Empire being that the human agents don't mean a fucking thing.
I guess before we do go anywhere, I guess we should first wrap up Zool a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you do have one more bit of business to do, and that's, of course, to do the glitter sim negotiation here.
Do I? I thought you did that without me.
Uh,
No, I thought
Sid?
you did do that without me since I'm.
We haven't rolled it at all yet.
Haven't rolled what? Sorry.
Any negotiation check for the glitter sim sale, basically.
I was expecting you to wait until you had your negotiator back.
Yeah, so I guess that's Zool's business then.
I mean, I could slide out literally within during a couple of days. I mean, all I'm wearing right now is the bandana anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I don't get sleepy.
Nice.
Right. So, yeah, you would just have to negotiate that, and even at a 30% rate, we're still getting off pretty well for that.
So
Mhm.
am I. Ba-dum-bum.
Ah.
Who am I negotiating with anyway?
Wait, say that again?
Who am I negotiating with anyway?
There's like a middleman, right?
the Shunta's people. They're drug dealers. She has an
Yeah.
organization that
Major
handles
domo,
her.
dealer, cargo handler, or
It's more their business affairs drug
yeah,
people.
they hook you up with an intern.
I mean,
Yes.
he's been hooked up with a lot of interns this last few days.
Well, I was just thinking in the meantime, while I'm getting my tantric ability on, couldn't I skip the middleman? Pillow talk.
So Shunta, I mean, you're obviously going to have some boosts and some benefits of your current status in this negotiation, but it's still somebody else that you're actually going to be negotiating with.
Oh, I
not
just meant that
Shunta.
I couldn't just pillow talk Shunta, and to then talk to the middleman and say, "Boss says it's okay,"
I mean, if you look at what I just put in your direct message,
which I haven't been paying attention to.
it's possible that this middleman might be part of that.
But the problem is that I can't. Okay, there we go. I had to open up new Discord windows because I can't do it on the one that I'm streaming from.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea.
Well, no, I mean the text wouldn't show up. It's just that the cameras would get messed up if
I understood. So,
Oh, see, that's not what I was imagining. But okay.
right, that's what I was kind of alluding to with.
See, I was thinking more of Sorry, I'm trying to.
You don't exactly
Self-censor.
have sex with a
Yeah,
hut,
no,
is what I'm trying to get to.
What is it called?
They're a centerpiece.
No, what's it called? Shit, I can't. Size thing?
Well, size plus they just don't
No,
have
no,
those
no.
type of
Macro.
receptors.
Macro is that what it's called? Oh, when you have somebody
Yeah,
who's
there's
We're
a
going
term.
too deep. We're going
There's
too
a
deep.
term.
somebody that's a
We don't need to worry
giant,
about
somebody that's like, that
Yeah,
size. That's what I was
it's,
thinking. The things that they do in that genre of stuff. See, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
describe it. Being super
We're not.
vague is still all right, unless one of you has a real problem.
I
Okay.
just there if they are asexual beings,
We
they
should move
wouldn't
along.
have
Yeah.
sex, right? They wouldn't get off that way.
Right, but they would still appreciate
So-
a massage, let's say. That
Well,
sort
for
of.
sure.
Now, if we take
For
that
I'll
sure.
to
go
an
ahead and just
extreme.
raise the official card at this point before we get way off track.
Yeah.
But so that's up to you how much you want to
I
bring
mean, I
into
have
it.
no
but-
problem with what you've said either.
So do you
I'm a space hippie. I'm good with it.
what I imagine this is, are you okay with me saying all that, or do you want?
Well,
wanna
no,
keep
Griff
it
already
PG?
put up the X card. We'll just.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's move along from
You
it.
and I both
Yeah.
We
know
spent
what
too
you
long in the
wrote.
pleasure palace.
Excellent. So we will say that you were going to gain some benefits from having that, right? So the 10 days is over. The pleasure cruise is complete, and a non-shy Zool returns to the fold.
So let's see it.
Let's
Oh,
go
okay,
ahead and
Taran, you're being pretty forward.
go ahead and bring him character-wise, right? Role play how you bring him up to speed on what's going on while I set the difficulty.
Oh, welcome back, Zool. Well, I was just plotting out a vacation over here with Otho. We got a couple places that we want to check out. Some nice out-of-the-way locations, scenic, maybe a couple tourist destinations to check out. Maybe somewhere deep beneath ground, lots of dead bodies, and occasionally maybe something pricey. Priceless? Yeah, priceless.
Yeah, so basically what Terran's trying to say is we're going to go to a couple planets and we're going to delve into some dark side tombs to liberate them of their valuable artifacts.
I hope it's going to take a while to get there because I'm going to take this headband off for a while and I'm going to pass out for a few days.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just
That's-
hang out in the cabin, and
that's
I'm
safe.
doing the flying anyway. So,
before we get too far afield
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
to give a mechanical benefit to your negotiation, go ahead and make a charm check, Zool. This is gonna be 4 boost dice because of the situation, and then it's a hard charm check. But this isn't going to be something that you are going to use your pheromones, but that's kind of filled in because this is a charm check that lasts many days. We're just going to boil it down to a hard value, if you want to use all of your things, you can.
Yep, cutting
However you want to
persona.
have that. And to be clear, this is to set your charming of the others that were involved, not Shunta.
Right. And you said beguiling pheromones is already included, right?
No, you can use those.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say. I think I did say it was already filled. I was already figuring you were going to use them.
All right. So that cunning persona, and then +2 automatic advantage.
I'm gonna say you can't use your charm or cunning persona. Well,
Why?
no,
You
go ahead.
can take the +1 success for the machine though, so you're
I mean,
good.
cunning persona is a trade-off of strain for a substitute.
Well, but the point is this is a multi-day thing, so
Yeah. So I mean, every day my
go for it.
strain
Yeah,
would
go for it.
refresh, and then I would
I don't
use more
I
strain.
don't have a problem with you using your cunning as part of.
Zool, motherfucking love machine.
Okay, interesting.
Wow.
This is going to be 1 red negotiation and quite a few boost. And it's only 1 red because I just want there to be 1 red. Because with that success, it would basically downgrade so much that it would be a simple check.
I mean, let me know when.
We're ready. Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna take 2 wounds. Because my strain. Well, actually, I don't know. It's been multiple
No, this
days.
could be new. This would
Yeah.
be a new day.
So technically, I'd only be at 6 strain right now, because I've used multiple factors of 2.
Okay. That will actually bring it up to 45%.
Up from 30?
Yep.
Okay, so 45%. I'll run the math on that.
Not bad.
It's good that it's an easy 100 credits base, so that's just 45 credits per.
Yep.
If we sold all of it right now, that would be 774,000. Plus 10,000 from our finder's fee.
Cool.
Time to hit the Sabbath table.
Okay.
Don't worry about my pants.
So I guess the main question is, that sound like enough?
That sounds like enough.
We're just below the 50% mark, where if we had bought everything at base value, we'd be breaking even. But we got all of this at like the cheapest bulk rate imaginable.
Cheap discount.
And we've already made over $1 million at this point now. I'm going to sell every last bit of glitter stim we still had left, and we have 784,000. I'm gonna go ahead and start splitting this.
Yeah, split by
once
4.
I actually add the proper extra
Now,
finder's fee.
The question is, do you want to continue doing this and put some of that away to pay for the next shipment?
Probably yes, because
Because you
part
could
of what
always go back to Kessel and buy another cargo hold full of it.
Yeah, part of what's on my mind is last time we were thinking, hey, this spice can also mix with Colto and make a really good healing packet thing, and that's an even better value. So I'll definitely want to put away for that. I just have no idea how much that's going to be yet.
You would have done the math. You know that the reason why you didn't do that before was because it would require you getting a source of Colto.
Hmm.
In addition to the spice, and so although you would make more money on the end product, it also would have required more
More time,
resources
more investment, more
at the front.
resources, things we didn't have at the time.
But with this influx of cash, you probably could go legit now and
Legitimate drug trade.
yeah.
Hmm.
How much did you pay me for being your negotiator?
Right now nothing, but I'd probably be giving you at least a equal share of this 784,000 that's coming down the line.
You
What I'm saying is you're going to want to take the amount that you're going to want to put forward to the
Yeah,
next
exactly.
purchases before you split it. So
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I gotta figure out what that number
why
is.
don't you do this? Split it by 4, take the fourth, and invest that into the future, and give us each a third share.
Because then,
well, you do need
like,
to make Stealthy Boy part of this
yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
Well,
that too.
he's the guy that got it on it anyway.
All right. Well,
He paid
you
for the
Yeah.
lion's share of
With his
the.
winnings.
Right now, at least, the money's not going anywhere, and we're about to go on a
You
several-month
seem to
vacation
think that
flying
I'm
around the
an honorable
galaxy.
character. I don't give a shit. Anyway, divide it into fifths then. Send the fifth off to be the business expense, and then tell me how much you're paying me, because I want my money.